Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have Mark Metry with us. He's the host of the iTunes podcast called Humans 2.0. So welcome to the show, Mark.
Tyler, thank you so much for having me on, and thank you, everyone, for listening.
Of course, dude. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And we'll dive in. The first question I have for you, Mark, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Sure, this is a great question. So, ages 16, I ended up starting a business, ended up becoming very financially successful without really much work. And I thought I had, quote unquote, made it. And I really realized that I was going after a lot of external things, but on the inside, I was kind of broken. And once I kind of figured that out, and I fixed up my internal, my external in terms of money and business became even better. But that's what I would say is the best underlying valuable message.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
That's a good question. So I think, just as context, my podcast, Humans 2.0, started taking it seriously in January. And I ended up on the iTunes top charts under self-help and technology and some other competitive podcasts, like in the top 10, just because I decided to start uploading a lot more podcasts. Now it's a daily podcast. But a lot of people have this stigma, especially in the podcasting world, that you should only upload once a week. And that's just limiting beliefs. And I think that people should be uploading a lot more content, not just on podcasts, but on social media in general.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
The growth and development of yourself as a character will mirror and parallel the growth of your business.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Nothing in life will ever change unless you change.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
I think that happiness kind of gets a distorted rep. A lot of us, we work hard, we work, and we're just like imagining happiness is that, island vacation or this place when we reach this place of stillness and we're finally quote unquote happy. And I don't think that place exists. So for me, happiness is the, continuous synergistic action of you doing things that you like doing that fulfill you on a regular 24-hour basis.
Yes. And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I would say the best book that I've read is 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson. Excuse me. The greatest thing I learned from that is start with yourself, look around and see what you can do. Take responsibility and treat yourself like you are someone you're responsible for taking care of.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote's got to be this one by Steve Jobs, and he says that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down and has made all the difference in my life. Yeah. It's my favorite quote because oftentimes, we're like doing so much stuff when we're trying really hard, and some of us are not so confident. Some of us are like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? And they don't know is that, anybody in history that's ever created something, they've always had that sense too, because nobody really has any idea what they're doing. But that's what I think this quote means a lot to me.
Yes, man, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, man. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Yeah, you can hit me up on social media. I mostly live on LinkedIn, Instagram, but you can check out my website. It's home base for everything. It's markmetry.com, markmetry.com. Thank you very much for having me, Tyler.
Of course. Thanks for hopping on, man. We appreciate it.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.